section and he says, oh, where he dissing Fatso I F Bloodhound did. Again, is already like claiming credit for this, okay? So he reposted, like,
yo, the internet's going wild, and for good reason. Chicago rapper Q50, the dude claiming 9 bodies, just got caught in a shooting. His enemies are straight up celebrating online, self-snitching on Instagram. Seriously, the tea is piping hot. So what happened? Word on the street is Q50 got clipped while chillin' in a black truck with his crew in St. Louis, at an after-hours spot where he was booked to perform. Immediately, people started roasting him, calling him dumb for even being there. Apparently, hitting up St. Louis was a major misstep. This is where it gets even crazier. Seems like there's a dude, CTS Lil Wick, who apparently banned Q50 from St. Louis. Honestly, bro, if some dude banned me from anywhere, I wouldn't feel like my life was in imminent danger. I mean, look at him. He doesn't seem like a major threat. It's wild. The beef between Q50 and CTS Lil Wick is the epitome of dumb. It's a prime example of how clout-hungry rappers can be the most dangerous people out there. Q50 doesn't even have a real problem with St. Louis. Not really. But his management team, MFK from Always Moving Forward, has deep roots there. MF has always kept strong business ties to St. Louis. Q50's done business there before. AMF, his management, even signed 2 female artists from St. Louis. You've seen the pics. Q50 Puddin', a chain on a St. Louis artist. They had no issues, 0 problems. This manufactured beef with St. Louis is all about clout. It stems from this dude, CTS Lil Wick, inserting himself into a Chicago beef that literally had nothing to do with him. Let's talk about Lil Dre. Dre's from Chicago, so he's connected to folks Q50 doesn't vibe with, like YG Fatso. And Dre has a real connection to St. Louis, a strong relationship with people like CTS Lil Wick. This is where the whole thing really starts to unravel. It's a perfect illustration of how a craving for clout can lead to serious consequences. CTS Lil Wick doesn't have a single real problem with Q50. No interaction, no beef, nada. But he knows Q50's got clout, that he's a rapper trying to blow up. So, when YG Fatso and Bloodhound Q50 started trading diss tracks online, CTS Lil Wick saw an opportunity. He jumped into the comment section and dropped this line. Where he dissing for 2? Where Bloodhound Q50 at? Seriously, a beef he had absolutely nothing to do with. That's just nasty, bro. He's using a connection to Fatu, one that's purely through Drake, to try and get attention. This is how beefs escalate. This is how fatalities happen, fam. You're watching it unfold in real time. We're watching a rapper manufacture conflict from thin air, all for a shot at internet fame. No blood tie, no real issue with Fatu. Just pure, unadulterated thirst for clout. Then came the ban. He dropped a snippet of a song on Instagram Live, declaring Q50 was banned from St. Louis, saying he couldn't pull up. Q50, sitting there, watching this little white dude publicly ban him online, was probably thinking, bruh, this dude ain't really about that. He decided to capitalize on the attention. He was going to say and do something to not only piss off CTS Lil Wick, but to rile up all of St. Louis. Because Q50 was out there talking as if he had a beef with the entire city. Something that wasn't completely true. He was going to flex, cause Lil Wick was flexing. The audacity of it. He was straight up baiting the city. I'm gonna pull up. I can do what I want. The energy was insane, bro. I'm banned from nowhere. I can be where I want to be. I'm taking whatever I want. He was basically taunting everyone. I'm coming to St. Louis, and they came to me. Looking out that window with that 60 boy, masked up. Everything he said, completely unconfirmed. Q50 claims 9 bodies, bro. You gotta take everything.
CTS Lil Wick that apparently got him shot is one of the dumbest beefs I think I've ever heard of. And
he says, with a massive grain of salt. But the people of St. Louis took it seriously, because he was playing it up for all it was worth. Telling the world he robbed someone from St. Louis for 60 grand. Constantly flashing his wrist. He was trying to flex. Luois, and they came to me. Looking out that window with that 60 boy, masked up. Everything he said, completely unconfirmed. Q50 claims 9 bodies, bro. You gotta take everything he says with a massive grain of salt. But the people of St. Louis took it seriously because he was playing it up for all it was worth, telling the world he robbed someone from St. Louis for 60 grand, constantly flashing his wrist. He was trying to flex. It's wild, right? This whole thing started with a $60,000 claim, a whole lot of bragging, and a whole city getting riled up. You gotta understand, St. Louis, it's a different vibe. It ain't sweet. Doesn't matter where you from, east side, west side, north, south, it's not sweet. They don't play games. They keep it real. And Q50? He didn't respect that. He started running his mouth, claiming he hit someone in St. Louis for 60 racks, flaunting it online. He was trying to portray himself as some untouchable boss, but he really just stirred up a hornet's nest. And it wasn't just CTS Lil Wick and his crew who were pissed. This was a citywide issue. People were sending warnings, straight up telling him he was going to get dealt with if he stepped foot back in St. Louis. He thought he could just waltz in and do whatever he wanted, disrespecting the city and its people, but he was dead wrong. He started this whole narrative, painting himself as some legend, snatching bags, running around like he owned the place. But deep down, it was all smoke and mirrors, a desperate attempt to gain clout. It's a dangerous game when you're playing with a city like St. Louis, bro. They don't take kindly to being disrespected, and the audacity to brag about it online, that was the ultimate mistake. And it was just about the money. It was about the disrespect. He didn't just rob someone. He disrespected the entire city, acting like he was above the rules. He was challenging a whole community, and you know how that always plays out. It's like he thought he was untouchable, but he was about to learn a harsh lesson. Now, the thing is, this wasn't just some localized beef. This was a different zone having an issue with someone from St. Louis. It escalated because he was targeting the whole city, not just one individual. He should have directed his anger, his accusations, at one person, CTS Lil Wick, but he didn't. He had to paint the entire city as his enemy. It was bad advice, terrible advice, and Q50 didn't listen. And then CTS Lil Wick responded. He dropped a diss track, targeting Q50's deceased friend, Lil Jeff. Now, Lil Jeff's story? It's all over the internet. The rise and the fall, everything's out there. It's a cautionary tale. But to disrespect his memory like that was a low blow. It was unnecessary, purely for attention. It's a sad reality. A clout-deprived rapper is the most dangerous kind of person you can meet. They'll do anything, say anything, disrespect anyone just to get views and attention. It's one thing to beef with someone, to have a disagreement, but to drag a dead person into it? That's beyond the line. Especially when there's no legitimate beef to begin with. Q50 never had issues with Lil Jeff. He's just trying to stir up drama, generate buzz, and get people talking. And the worst part, he's getting exactly what he wants, which is more attention than he probably deserves. And it's wild to see people beefing with CTS Lil Wick, honestly. They're bold, I'm not gonna lie. But CTS Lil Wick, he's a whole different level. He's a crash-out YN, right? A YN with white privilege. Listen, man, that's a dangerous combination. That's a level of privilege you just don't mess with. He caught a man, broad daylight, went to jail, and then beat
Chicago rapper Q50, who claims that he has killed 9 people, was shot today, and his ops is already
the charges. That's a testament to the system, to the power of privilege. It's something you just don't want to tangle with. He's got a whole empire built on that. He tapped a man, went to court, and walked free, claiming self-defense. It's insane, man. It's a whole different world. And Q50, he's trying to play with that fire, thinking he can come out on top. But he's about to find out that some things are just not worth the risk. And then Q50 responds to the diss track, again, not naming CTS Lil Wick directly, but targeting the entire city of St. Louis. Another colossal mistake. He's digging himself deeper and deeper into a hole. He's creating more enemies than he can handle. It's like he wants to be taken down. Them ninjas ain't St. Louis, still mad I took 60K. He's still bragging about it, playing it up for the cameras. He's doubling down on his disrespect. And then he drops the line. Let's talk about paper. Broke our ops. Next funeral I'ma pay. He's openly referring to the people of St. Louis as his ops. That's a direct challenge. It's an insult. And if he didn't mean it, he should have clarified. He should have said, "Hey, I'm not talking about all of St. Louis. I'm talking about CTS Lil Wick." But he didn't. He fanned the flames. And now the entire city is watching him. They're waiting. They're analyzing his every move, looking for a weakness, a moment to strike back. They're seeing him online, being hailed as some tough guy, some internet killer. And they're not buying it. They know he's posturing, he's exaggerating. He's trying to create an image that doesn't exist. "Look, you want me? Who you?" "No, I'm chilling. I'm all right." He's trying to play it cool, trying to downplay the situation. But it's too late. The damage is done. The challenge has been laid. He's got a cross around his neck, talking about being out there in the grave. But he's living in a fantasy world. He thinks he's untouchable. But he's about to find out that St. Louis doesn't play that. He's talking about people streaming, wanting to get on his right hand. He thinks he's building a loyal following. But they're just waiting for the opportune moment. "Look, you want me? Who you?" "No, I'm chilling. I'm all right." It's all an act. It's a dangerous game he's playing, a game he's destined to lose. He's created an image of himself that's impossible to maintain, a persona that's built on lies and exaggeration. And now, the people of St. Louis are coming for him. They're watching, they're waiting, and they're ready to show him what it really means to disrespect a city. It's going to be a spectacle, a lesson learned the hard way. He's about to find out that bragging about robbing people and disrespecting a city has consequences. Big consequences. It's a dangerous game he's playing, a game he's destined to lose. He's created an image of himself that's impossible to maintain, a persona that's built on lies and exaggeration. And now, the people of St. Louis are coming for him. They're watching, they're waiting, and they're ready to show him what it really means to disrespect a city. It's going to be a spectacle, a lesson learned the hard way. He's about to find out that bragging about robbing people and disrespecting a city has consequences. Big consequences. The internet, man, it's a ruthless witness. It sees everything. It remembers everything. And right now, it's got Q50, Bloodhound, in a chokehold. We're talking full-blown fallout. A digital storm brewing in the heart of St. Louis. It all started with some wild talk, some seriously escalated threats. And now, well, now things have taken a turn for the absolutely insane. We're talking about grown men who should know better, apologizing profusely, practically begging for mercy. "No, Q50. Please don't send me to my dead grandma." Seriously, that's what we're hearing. It wild. He built this whole empire on bravado, on projecting this untouchable, invincible image. He's
Like recording a diss track, dissing Q50's homie, Lil Jeff. We all know Lil Jeff.
reaping what he sowed, man. He's cultivating a reputation as the biggest, baddest ever, a self-proclaimed king, while the people in St. Louis are just sizing him up, looking at him sideways. They're thinking, "Nah, fam, he ain't tougher than us. We want that clout too. We want to be known as the toughest. We gotta show him." The disrespect was palpable, the tension was thick, but he just kept fueling the fire. He's been playing with matches in a gasoline factory. Then came the announcement, the bold, almost taunting post. "Hey man, yo, I'ma be here. St. Louis, bro. Right, Saturday, August 16th, man. Y'all come here." It was an invitation to a reckoning. Like he was asking for it. He even dropped the after-party location, a meetup spot, like he was saying, "Come find me. Let's do this." And that's where it all went sideways, spectacularly sideways. Because alerting everyone to your whereabouts, especially when you're riling up an entire city, that rarely ends well. The reports started coming in. The videos online, still circulating like wildfire. Don't even need to play it. You can find it yourself. The gist of it is this. Him and his homies, chillin' in a black truck at this after-hour spot. Suddenly, gunfire erupts. For people, critical condition. For lives hanging in the balance. All because of this escalating beef. Now here's the twist. Q50 wasn't among the injured. He was grazed. A minor injury, they're saying. Like a bullet just kissed him. He's dodging serious damage, while his crew is fighting for their lives. Of course, he's not claiming anything. You gotta protect your image, right? Yo, the bullet grazed me. That's a confession to getting shot, man. His team's scrambling. Damage control mode activated. Nah, he's fine. He's okay. He wasn't in critical condition. He's playing it cool, but his homies are hurting, and the city is watching. And even with his team trying to spin it, he's posting on Instagram, showing zero remorse, flexing, being completely detached from the gravity of the situation. No, like Big Papa, but I ain't going like Chris Wallace. A direct reference to a tragic fate, like he's untouchable, like he's above consequence. He's doubling down on his persona, asserting dominance, as his crew is fighting for their lives. The world know who the goblins, they begging for me to stop. The reason they don't ride with Tyler's, no sympathy, dump on mamas. It's a declaration of war, a complete rejection of any sense of responsibility. You either in or you out. It don't even question me about it. It's like he's actively seeking more trouble, digging himself a deeper hole. At first, I didn't think this beef with St. Louis was that serious, man. It seemed like typical internet hype, typical posturing. But now, it's gone way too far. Now I'm dumping on your mama's whatever, bro, when I see y'all. The disrespect is visceral. The threats are real. Shout out to Welcome to Carter on YouTube for keeping receipts before they got deleted, man. Someone's got to preserve this for posterity. But CTS Lil Wick is already claiming credit for the attack. Laughing emojis, man. Laughing emojis while people are fighting for their lives. It's beyond. Then Lil Dre, the Chicago dude with the St. Louis connection, steps into the spotlight. He's shouting out Instagram pages, promising a reward. I love y'all on Too Grave. Y'all stood on everything y'all told me. I got something for y'all. He's openly admitting responsibility, claiming involvement in the shooting. I'ma give you guys a reward. It's a whole new level of audacity. He's even throwing props to my 95th boys from Chicago. This is from the rack to the loo, man. The whole thing is spiraling out of control. And here's the mind-bending part. Are these dudes genuinely stupid? Or are they brilliant? Are they foolish enough to admit it?
Is already like claiming credit for this, okay? So he reposted, like the clip of Bloodhound Q50 being shot in St. Louis, and he sent the laughing emojis. Now, Lil Dre, right, the Chicago dude with the St. Louis plug, he then shouted out a lot of Instagram pages and says, I love y'all on Too Grave. Y'all stood on everything y'all told me. I got something for y'all. So he is now admitting that, yo, these are the dudes who are responsible for Q50 and his team being shot in St. Louis. And also,
involvement in a mass shooting? Or are they playing a long con, feigning responsibility to deflect suspicion? It's a question that's got everyone scratching their heads. Because admitting to something like that would attract the full force of the police, would open up a whole can of legal worms. But if they aren't involved, then they're masterminds, manipulating the narrative, feeding the chaos. This isn't even about clout anymore, is it? It's about something bigger, something uglier. These rappers aren't even at the level where they have to worry about their bookings. Promoters aren't going to risk their venues, their livelihoods, to let these guys perform. Look at 6ix9ine, Pop Smoke. They had a hard time getting booked. These guys are on a whole other level now. It doesn't matter if you had nothing to do with it. The reputation hits you anyway. You're labeled, you're tainted. It affects your paper, man, your livelihood. And why? Even if you're innocent, why would you want to now be embroiled in a lifelong beef with someone over something you didn't even participate in? It's a recipe for constant paranoia, constant threats, constant fear. It's a trap, man. A trap designed to suck you in. What do y'all think? Is this just another case of internet hype gone wild? Or is there something deeper going on here? Are these guys genuinely stupid? Or are they brilliant manipulators? Let me know in the comment section, man. Seriously, I want to hear what y'all are thinking. This whole situation is just wild. Now, if you're still watching, click on this video here to find out how Dr. Omar Johnson just received the worst news ever today. Seriously, you gotta see this. Click on it. I'm out of here, folks. Stay safe. Seriously, I want to hear what y'all are thinking. This whole situation is just wild. Now, if you're still watching, click on this video here to find out how Dr. Omar Johnson just received the worst news ever today. Seriously, you gotta see this. Click on it. I'm out of here, folks. Stay safe. Okay, let's rewind a bit. We need to unpack everything that's been happening with Q50, the Bloodhound, and this St. Louis incident. It's been absolutely insane, and honestly, the sheer audacity of it all has got people talking. We've been following this story closely, and you all have too, because the engagement on the Q50 threads has been through the roof. Let's set the scene. Q50, for those of you who's been living under a rock, is basically a legend, a coding genius, a digital phantom, a whisper in the server rooms. He built this empire from scratch, you know, from literally nothing. And what he's done, it's not just about the code. It's about disrupting the entire system. He built his platform. We're not going to name it specifically here, keeping things a little vague. To be completely decentralized, totally resistant to the control of, well, them. And that right there is the problem. You see, when you challenge the established order, when you build something that operates outside of their grasp, you're going to attract attention, and not the good kind. Think of it like this. You're a little indie game dev. You release a game that's just better. Way better. The big guys aren't happy about that, are they? It's the same principle, just on a massively amplified scale. So who are them? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not about specific individuals, folks. It's about a network, an infrastructure, a system designed to maintain the status quo. They're everywhere, embedded in the institutions, controlling the narratives. They operate in the shadows, pulling strings, making sure things stay predictable. And now, Q50's been targeted. This attack, this incident at St. Louis, it's not random. It's a calculated move. They're sending a message to Q50, but also to everyone who's even thinking about challenging them. The nerve of these people, seriously. It's like they think they can just intimidate everyone into submission. Now, the details of what happened in St. Louis are still emerging. We're piecing together information from various sources. Encrypted
window with that 60, boy. Need that. No. Huh?
Everything he's saying is
channels, leaked documents, the usual hustle. What we do know is that a group of individuals, highly coordinated and heavily equipped, descended upon a location associated with Q50. Witnesses report a significant security presence, unusual for this area. There's been talk of sophisticated jamming technology, designed to disrupt communication. This wasn't some amateur hour operation, people. This was a professional hit. Think about the symbolism, too. St. Louis, a crossroads, a place of transit. It's not just a random location, it's a deliberate choice. It suggests a disruption of movement, a blockage of flow. They're trying to stifle Q50's influence, to cut him off from his network. It's a classic tactic. Isolate the target, then crush them. But Q50 isn't making it easy on them. He anticipated this, folks. He's been preparing for this for a long time. This isn't some guy operating out of his mom's basement. He's got layers of security, contingency plans within contingency plans. He's been building redundancies, decentralizing his operations. It's like he knew they were coming. The question now is, what's Q50's next move? Will he retaliate? Will he disappear? Will he emerge stronger than ever? Honestly, it's anyone's guess. But one thing's for sure, this incident has just escalated the entire situation. This isn't just about Q50 anymore. It's about the future of the entire decentralized ecosystem. There's been a lot of chatter online about Q50's motivations. Some say he's a revolutionary, a modern-day Robin Hood, fighting for the little guy. Others accuse him of being a power-hungry elitist, manipulating the system for his own gain. The truth, as always, is probably somewhere in the middle. It's rarely black and white, is it? We're seeing a real shift in the narrative here. The mainstream media, predictably, is downplaying the incident, dismissing it as a minor security breach. They're trying to control the flow of information, to minimize the impact. But the people aren't buying it, folks. The truth is out there, and it's spreading like wildfire. The level of coordination we're seeing in the counter-narrative is also remarkable. People are sharing information, verifying sources, building a network of truth seekers. It's a testament to the power of decentralized communication. It's like the people are fighting back. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all very dramatic, But what can I do? The answer is simple. Stay informed. Question everything. Don't blindly accept what you're told. Support decentralized platforms. Spread awareness. Be the change you want to see in the world. It's that simple. And remember this. Q50 may be under attack, but the fight for a more decentralized future isn't over. Not by a long shot. This is a moment of crisis. Yes, but it's also an opportunity. An opportunity to build something better. An opportunity to reclaim our freedom. We need to remember the principles at stake here. This isn't just about coding or technology. It's about power. It's about control. It's about the right to exist outside of the system's grasp. The resources being deployed against Q50 clearly demonstrate the perceived threat he poses. They're not wasting resources on someone who ISN's a threat, are they? This is a declaration of war, plain and simple. And finally, let's not forget the human cost of all this. Q50, whoever he is a person, and he's facing an incredibly difficult situation. We need to show him our support. We need to stand with him, because in fighting for his freedom, we're fighting for our own. The incident in St. Louis isn't just a story, it's a warning, a wake-up call. Are you ready to answer? And finally, let's not forget the human cost of all this. Q50, whoever he is a person, and he's facing an incredibly difficult situation. We need to show him our support. We need to stand with him, because in fighting for his freedom, we're fighting for our own.
To give you guys a reward, I'm gonna pay for this. And CTS also says, shout out my 95th boys from Chicago, right? Lil Dre. This is from the Rock to the Lou. Oh my God, bro. Worst part about it all, I can't even be sure if these dudes are stupid or geniuses. Stupid if you actually did this and you're admitting. Geniuses if you had nothing to do with this and you're claiming it. But also, too, why would you even want the police on your tail like that? Why would you even want to claim something like this publicly? Why would you even want to admit, right, being involved in a mass shooting in public? It's just dumb. But St. Louis people took it seriously because he's popping it. He's telling them folks, or telling the world that is, that he robbed somebody from St. Louis for $60,000. He kept showing his wrist. He said he also took that expensive watch from somebody in St. Louis. He told them he runs St. Louis, all right, that y'all can't ban him from nowhere, that he done robbed y'all. So he's popping it. It pissed off a lot of people in St. Louis outside of CTS Lil Jeff. I'm just being real with y'all right now, bro. A lot